Hey FlossTube, Ashley here, Buggy Stitcher on YouTube, Schlizzm_Buggy Stitcher on Instagram, coming to you guys with part 2 of the Wip Parade. Like I said in the previous video, if you watched it, I have no idea if this is going to end up being a third part or not. We're going to try and get through as much as possible. So disclaimers that I gave for the previous video is that well, I'm going to be using my phone to give you guys pictures of any patterns that don't have very good pattern pictures, because I gave a picture of all of my projects, or 90% of my projects, on my phone. I'm not going to be announcing anyone that I'm like stitching these with. It's just I stitch with anyone and everyone, so I have a lot of stitching friends that I stitch different things with, I think the video would just be too long if I announced all of those people. And oh, and I'm not showing any patterns that I only have like 100 stitches in, just because it would make this video way too long. But I did count approximately 115 patterns that I do have that have been started. I don't know if all of those have more than 100 or not, but let's just go ahead and dive right in. Part 2. So let's get going. And I know I have some pictures of like some of the patterns that I have. So here is my warrior. She was one of my very first purchases off of AliExpress. She is an 11 count. Make sure I didn't have a needle on her. And I have just, I believe, switched her. Yep, I just switched her over to 10 stitch. So I will show you all that. All right, she is a 30 by 40, so 30 by 40. Here's the whole thing. And what I've been doing this year, or this last couple times stitching her, is I've just been trying to fill in this background to above her head. So last time I worked on her, I started stitching some of the background above her head, and those are all 10 stitch. Some of the background is 10 stitch, but her entire face and all of her hair are full cross. And they would have been 10 stitch if I would have known anything about 10 stitch for stamped kits, or at least attempted to do so, but I hadn't. So this is where she is. So she was 3-strand full cross, but I converted her to 6-strand tent. Whew. Say that 10 times fast. So yeah, she's definitely one of my oldest whips. She was an actual purchase. So yeah, when I first got started doing the cross stitch stuff, I purchased like 5 or 6 from Tapestry Market, and then like a bunch off of AliExpress. I want to say another 5 or 6, and that's pretty much what kind of got me started in stamped kits. And then I just started working on those, and then I ended up getting collabs. So next up is kind of the companion piece with her. I started this, I want to say 3 years ago now, for my mom, or at least we were like stitching things together. It's not for her, but I started it on her birthday, after I finished the mountain. So again, we were just kind of stitching things together. So this one has been converted to 10 stitch. I didn't get a very big stitching session in with her when I did stitch on her last. So this is what I'm calling my Paladin. She's just beautiful. Ice and fire. So here is where I've gotten to so far. Again, she's also a 30 by 40. So here's the whole thing, and she is so sad. Like, she's also one of my oldest whips, and I just recently converted her face to 10 stitch. Yeah, so some of the stitches in her nose and around her jaw is where I was last when I was stitching her, and you can't tell, but she was one of the ones where I discovered, oh, you have to hold things back to be able to see that actually looks good. And I think I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so it makes it easier to show everybody. there you go. Now I'm not like right in the middle of the frame. It makes it a little easier. So, but yeah, she was like, I stitched her face, but I didn't finish all the stitching of her face. And I was like, I'm so mad. Like, I purchased this pattern and there's not good detail and blah, blah, blah. And then we discovered that, oh, you need to hold it back. I see. You can't be like up nose to the pattern. It just doesn't work with stamped kits. But once I started filling in the rest of her, you know, I could see her jawline. She's beautiful. I just really need to work on her. But yeah, I think she's been touched once this year, which is really sad. But, oh, and we are doing the bin that is, this bin is kits to be worked on or that I tend to feel or want to work on. So I recently organized all my things. So, okay. Next up, we have a coffee pattern, I believe. Is this coffee pattern? This is, oh, it's not gonna have a good photo. This is my coffee Starry Night pattern. So let me pull up all my photos here. Like I said, I keep all of the pictures of all of my stamped and just in all of my projects in general in my phone so I can keep track and like send my friends pictures or my mom pictures of what do I want to stitch on? This is kind of what I'm feeling, pick for me, which is kind of fun. And apparently this is an older kit. I didn't realize how old this was. That's sad. So here is this pattern. Again, it's just like the Starry Night in a coffee cup, which is amazing. Haven't gotten very far in this one, per usual for everything. But this is a 50 by 50. And this is a fully tent stitch kit. And here it is. Here's the whole thing. So like I said, I'm just working on background and I don't have very much done. But I do like what I see of the background. So there is that. But yeah, I have maybe like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have like 1,200 stitches done, which is pretty typical for all of my stamped kits. I have like 1,000, 1,200, somewhere around there, except on like a couple where I have like a bunch. So that's why this one is in the to be worked on. Honestly, I completely forgot about this one until just now, which is also pretty typical, which is why I like doing the Wip Parades, because I get to see all the patterns that I just kind of forgot about. I have too many, which is why I forget about them, because there's just too many to keep track of. Okay, next up we have another companion piece to, well, it's kind of a companion piece to my zombie girl. So this one, I was gonna stitch a bunch on this one, but then I got really nervous about the zombie girl. But this one should be fine just because it's a 55 by 70, so I don't see, it's not gonna be a big deal. I'm making a big deal about it, even though it's not a big deal. I actually don't have a nickname for her. She's just gorgeous. She's really pretty. And the stained glass window behind her and stuff, I really hope that shows in the pattern. But yeah, I just really need to work on this one. And I have it. Still stiff, actually. I think, let's see, I started working on this one, was working full cross. I was like, I don't want to do full cross, so I put her away. And then that's when I kind of discovered 10 stitch. So I've kind of started to do 10 stitch. Yeah, so when I first, here's the whole thing. You're not really going to be able to tell like what I have and haven't done except this corner. But I did this corner full cross, and that's when I started to slowly discover 10 stitch. So then I had done her face to make sure her face looked good, and she does. She's amazing, which is why I bought this one as a 50 by 70 kit, because I wanted to, or 55 by 70, I wanted to make sure that that face was just there. And then, so I stitched some of her face, and then I realized 10 stitch, so I tested the 10 stitch. This is when I was still testing it over in this area, which you can't really tell some of the yellow and greens, some of the background. But I still just was very iffy about tent stitching, and you have to get more than this done. You really need to get like a good like 500 or 600 done in a block together to see that there's not as many holes when you like look back, because when you just do this amount of stitching, it's like, this looks like garbage. But do you see there's like a ton of holes and stuff still? So you need to get everything filled in first, and then the tent stitch will start looking better. But when you first start, it's really bad. So here is what I've done so far, which is like absolutely nothing on this kit, which is so sad. So sad. You'll hear me say that a lot, because it is really sad and unfortunate that I have a stitching problem. Sad for the kids, not for my soul. It makes my soul happy that I have all these kits. It's kind of like a library. You know, you have all these books on your library shelves that never really get touched, but eventually they still bring you happiness, and that's what this is for me. All right, next up we have a custom created kit that I had done before I realized I didn't like 14 count stamped kits. This pattern doesn't have a good photo, so let me give you the photo. This is one I had custom created way back when. I'd rather be at Hogwarts. Super cute. It's got Hogwarts, a snowy scene, kind of like a rainbow wording, the moon and the flying car, which is just all me. But unfortunately, it's a 14 count stamped kit, and I'm not a big fan of 14 count, although this kit is stamped very nicely. But I have yet to try this as tent stitch now that I've started trying to do tent stitch on 14 count. So here's the whole thing. It is very large. This is a 40 by 70, I believe. Yeah, 40 by 70. So yeah, very, very large. And here is all that I've gotten done so far, which it is looking really good so far. It's just I need to work on it. But it's been in a huge long time out because I don't like 14 count stamped kits. I'm trying really hard to get over that. So I just need to switch this over to tent and see if getting some progress on this will change that. But until then, it's just been kind of in a timeout where I don't work on it. I don't even think the whole thing's kitted up. You can see I still have this like big pack of floss. And it's still like super stiff, and I like softer stamped kits, but it's stiff because I haven't worked on it, so it's just this. Yeah, I just need to work on it, which is why it's in this bin. Next up, we have a kitty cat pattern that I purchased for my kiddos. I let them pick a pattern. Is this open or closed? What's happening? This bag is broken. The bag is just broken. Okay. I let the kids pick their own pattern. And my daughter picked this one, but has since fallen out of love with it. Surprise, surprise. Wonder where she gets that from. Except the bag I have it in is broken. I just broke it. Let me see if I can tear it apart. That's unfortunate. Maybe. Oh. Okay, I fixed it. Yay! Jeez, I was like, I'm not gonna get into this pattern apparently. Okay, so this is what my daughter picked. She loves kitty cats, but she has fallen out of love with this, but I still want to stitch it. Just because it will remind me of the time that she did pick it. And my son, he picked a kitty cat pattern as well. So what I was doing is I'd work on her pattern, work on his pattern, work on her pattern, work on his pattern. So these are like nicely worked in and feel wonderful because of that. But this is a 30 by 40 and has tons of hanging threads. Because I would let them pick like where they wanted me to work on it. yeah, see, this makes me happy. I need to get this back out, which is probably why it's in that thing. But I think maybe I'll let her pick another pattern like that, like this, something that she's liking more now that she's a little bit older. But yeah, so sorry, nostalgia. Here's the whole thing with all of its hanging threads and its glory. I did do this one 10 stitch. So she told me she wanted me to start in the background. I was like, perfect. Then she wanted me to work on an ear. So I did an ear. Then she wanted me to work on the horn. I completed the horn, which is beautiful. As soon as I move all of these hanging threads so everybody can see the rainbow horn, it's so cute. And then she wanted me to work on the other ear, so I did that. And that's the point where she kind of gave up on it. She didn't really like it very much. She had told me to start working on the tail, so I slowly started working on the tail. But then she was like, I'm over this, Mom. I don't really like that pattern, which is so sad because I was doing so good on going back and forth between this pattern and my son's pattern. But yeah, she just kind of fell out of love, but I still love it. So I'm not going to get rid of it just because I really love, I mean, who doesn't love a rainbow kitty cat unicorn? Like, this is kind of amazing. So yeah, this is where we're at so far. So, and yeah, and this one needs a new bag. So I'm just going to set this in here and set it off to the side so I can fix the bag. And now this makes me want to work on this one too. So I'm going to set it aside and actually work on it as well. Okay, next up I have an inherited, there we go, a project from Abby. Abby and Stitches is her Instagram name. So this one doesn't have like a very good photo. It's a 30 by 50 and it's Jack. So we got Jack as the Pumpkin King and then we got Jack as Santa, which I have yet to work on this one, which is sad because she was gonna get rid of it and I was like, no, don't get rid of it. Like, you've done so much on it and my kids love Jack. But for some reason this year, I think I was just too busy starting all of the things that I never actually like worked on this one. So I'll show off what she's done. So here is where we are with this. So yeah, this is all full cross. She is a full cross stitcher. I will probably convert it over to 10 stitch just because that's the way my brain works. But it looks so cool. And so like Halloween, we can have it this way and then we can turn it Christmas and have it going this way. So that's why this is in this bin, because I have yet to work on this. I've just inherited it and not started it. So I need to get going. But I will mention that it is kind of confetti heavy. So if you look, so there's lots of different color changes in there. So there is that. Probably why I haven't worked on it yet. That and I just forgot about it. Imagine that. But she did put it in this little bag, which is also super cute. Cute little bag. Her and her husband make bags, which is awesome. Projectstitchcraft is their Etsy shop, I believe. Okay, next up we have a Joy Sunday that my husband purchased for me for Christmas. Not this last Christmas, but the previous. I got a fair bit done on this one, I think. It is 14 count, so like I said, I'm trying really hard to like 14 count better. Yeah, I didn't get as far on this as I thought I was, actually. Sorry, just moving all the hanging threads. So here's the whole thing. Super small in comparison to what I'm used to, but it is 14 count, which makes it like a little bit bigger. But this is all I've done right here. It's just like the branches and the little background right here, which isn't a ton. I've just started on this tree and I love this pattern, so that's why it's in the bin because I want to convert this over to 10 stitch and do some more on it. Because this wouldn't take me very long. I feel like I'm a fairly, like, if I actually sit down and think about it and just stitch on one thing and not like a million, because because that's what I do. If I don't know what I want to work on, or some days I'm just like, I just need to stitch and I just need to stitch everything. And I'll just put like 100 stitches here, 100 stitches there. And that's what I end up doing, especially on like days where I just really need it for my soul, is I'll just start stitching on all the things. And so, yeah, if I was to just concentrate on this for like a whole week, it'd be like halfway done. But that's just not my brain, apparently. I have a hard time stitching on just one thing for a while. But, yep. And that's how it is with all of my projects. Like a 30 by 40 pattern probably wouldn't take me very long to do. Maybe a month. Maybe. If I was to just work on that and that only. But it's just I can't. Like, have brain fog or something. Cross-stitching fog. Cross-stitching fog. All right, next up we have another one that my husband has gotten for me, and it's Merry Christmas Owls. So we have like a Santa and like a silly reindeer who almost looks like he's drunk right there. And then, yeah, but I think I started on Santa is what I've done. This one has not gotten its glory. So I plan on stitching this one a fair bit. Christmas in July. I just switched this one. So no, I didn't switch it. What I had done is I had started this one full cross and I was like, no, this isn't working. And this is the project that I started attempting the 14 count tent stitch on. And once I got, yeah, oh, it is both actually. So this hat right up here is full cross, down here and below is tent stitch. I forgot I did work on this a little bit this year. So full cross up here, tent stitch everywhere else. You can see that when you zoom in, but you can't tell from back here. At least I can't. Maybe on camera. Maybe. But yeah, so I started working on this owl this last year. And again, there's not very much stitching here. So I really need to just, and now that I've gotten this converted to tent stitch, I should get this out and work on it. So, and this one's 14 count. Tent stitch is 4 strands, it looks like. So, yep, just gotta get her, because I would like to have this done for Christmas this year. Actually, that's a goal. That's a goal. I need to get this done for Christmas this year. You heard it first. Let's see if it actually happens. Okay, next up. So I love the Ghibli movies. Apparently this one's missing its cross. What the heck is up with bags lately? Like this one's missing its little like seal thing too. Oh no. Apparently this video is just all broken bags. Okay, anyway, I love the Ghibli movies. I wouldn't say all of them because I don't even think I've seen all of them, but I love a lot of them. And one of my favorite ones is Howl's Moving Castle. And so I had got this pattern. I just love it. I love this. I love it. Yeah, this like pose. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just so beautiful with all of the glowing flowers in the background. So I hope this kit actually does have that like glowy effect feel. It's a 50 by 70 and I haven't gone very far on it. I think I just recently kind of gotten this and had one stitching session and then called it good, which is sad. Because this is a really big kit and I would love to get this going. And I started kind of in a random spot. I think I started on her head. It looks like the outline around her hair. So here's the whole thing. Pretty big one, 50 by 70. And here's where I've gotten to. So I did a little bit of the halo around her head and started on her hair, which you can't really see because it is a stamped kit. And this is full, this project was stitched all in tent stitch. That's what I meant to say. That's what I've done so far. So not very much at all, but this is a very crisp stamped kit, let me tell you. I'll show you a little close up. That's some really good stamping right there. So yeah, I need to get going on this. I'm actually getting another Howl's Moving Castle one that's kind of like, or I'm going to attempt to get one that has like the whole movie, it's got like little scenes all around, like one photo. So it's got the photo and then like framed like other pictures all around it. Yes, that's on my wish list. I plan on trying to get that one. So, and I think Sparrow Stitchery is stitching that. And I want to stitch it with her. Okay. Last for this bin. Surprisingly, this bin is very huge. And then if we still have more time, I will just start grabbing. I have like these drawers right next to my, this is my stitching spot. And so I'll just grab a drawer and start showing. Okay, next up we have one that is quite sad. So my daughter picked out this pattern, which is wonderful, again with the whole like rainbow theme. And this is watercolor behind. So yeah, super cute. And my whole family loves owls. So yeah, I need to get working on this one. It is a 40 by 50. But the problem with this one is the stamping just isn't quite as nice. So I have a hard time finding motivation to work on this for very long just because of that. But I have gotten one owl almost completely done. I did work on this a tiny bit this year. So here's the whole thing. And then I don't think I've done any 10 stitch on this one at all. Yeah, so I haven't done any 10 stitch on this at all. This is all full cross. So I do need to convert it over to 10 stitch, and then it would probably go significantly better. When I do have a kit that I don't like the stamping with, but I don't want to get rid of everything, the whole kit, what I do is I pick the blurriest or crappiest symbol. Excuse me talking like that, but I pick the crappiest symbol and I stitch that first, and then I stitch the next crappiest symbol. So that way by the time I get done doing all the crappy symbols, all of the clear symbols are easier to see. Because if I was to save all of those for last, I wouldn't be able to tell like what symbol is what. So that's what I do when I have like a really bad stitching or stamping stamped kit. So that's this one. And perfect timing, the Teeners is awake, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there. 2 seconds for you, probably longer for me. And when I get back, we will start on this next. I'll start grabbing the drawers. So I'll be right back. Okay, next up we have my gamer pattern. So this is one, I'm gonna take the hoop out even though I'm stitching on it right now. But I wanted to show you guys because this one started off as a full cross project and I've gotten a fair bit done on it. And so you'll be able to see, well, probably not see, but I'll be able to show you what a full cross versus a stamped kit looks, or full cross converted to 10 stitch project looks like. Whew, that's a tongue twister. Okay, so the full thing, here's Gamer. Super pretty. I am a gamer. But I can't play games right now just because the kids are too little. But when they get a little bit older, I think it'll be easier and it'll all come back. But I used to play the League of Legends and World of Warcraft and EverQuest and yeah, all of those fun games. Team Fortress 2, like all of them. So anyway, here I have lots of hanging threads, because that's my brain. But here's the whole thing so far. And we have Harry the Hedgehog right here. And the camera might move because here comes Teeny Tiny to come help me, you silly. But here's the whole thing. And I started the ribbon up here, the banner, as full cross. So the full cross stitches are right there. There's some full cross in there, and then there's also full cross in the actual banner itself. As you pull it back, even from right here, I can't tell that there's full cross and 10 stitch. I mean, not at all. At least I can't. Maybe you can on camera, I'm not sure. But from here, I cannot. So on this one, what I've just been doing is I've just been trying to fill in, I'm trying to fill all this in right here, right now. So that's why there's like a bunch of hanging threads right here, is because I'm filling this in to then start kind of going down and then working it across right here. So normally when I get a stamped kit, I work on a detail that I want to see, so that way when I'm stitching on it, it's nice to stitch on and see that, and to make sure that the kit is going to be worth stitching on. And then I start kind of filling everything else in, and normally I tend to pick a spot, fill it in, pick a spot, fill it in. It might not necessarily be in like sequential order or anything, but this is my gamer, and I'm stitching on her right now. Hi. Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, the threads are just over here, so. Okay, now we can go ahead and grab a drawer, which there's a fair bit in each drawer. So I have these somewhat organized. I think this top drawer is things that I need to stitch on, or like are like part of a sal, or just things that I need to get work on, which isn't a bad thing. I need to stitch on everything, but these ones in particular are ones that I specifically want and need to get going. So this next pattern is a stitch along that's going on this year from Flossie Fox Shop, her Pixel Dragon. I love this pattern. I absolutely love her shop, actually. I have so many patterns from her shop right now. It's insane, and I still plan on getting more. But this one, careful, careful. This one I really love. I just happened to start it late, and I've kind of been just behind ever since. So this is pretty much what I've gotten done. Yeah, I'm still working on part 1. So here's the pattern, and this is just part 1 of the pattern. There's like 4 parts or 5 parts that have been released so far, but I'm still on the first part. So this is stitched on 18 count Be Stitch Me fabric, and this is, I don't want you on my foot, you silly. This is where I've gotten to so far. So I've kind of stalled on it, and I am stitching it full cross. What is the matter? Here, you want to play with this? You don't? Oh, I see. You want this? So I've kind of stalled on it a little bit because I'm to the point now where I'm filling in and trying to find all of the colors that I need. It has been kind of hard, but I now have since converted my cross stitch, my floss stash into binders, and so I know I now have all of the colors organized and I can easily find them. So this one should pick up fairly soon. I think I just need to have the gumption to want to do it now. So here's what I've gotten to so far. And of course it looks uneven just because I have it on a Q snap and the fabric, there we go, it's a little bit better, but yeah, I love the pixel art. Apparently I'm just in love. It's like my newfound love, so that's kind of cool. And I want to try and put these away as I go just because I want this to stay organized. Okay, next up we have a pattern that my husband got for me. This one is GlitchstitchAU's Florist. Sorry, I have to zoom in a little bit so I don't show the pattern on accident. So here is the pattern. This isn't the full picture of the pattern just because I have to zoom in so I don't accidentally show you guys the pattern, because that's like a big no-no. But here it is. It's like Pokemon, all the plant Pokemon in little pots, which is just super cute. So he got this for me for my birthday / Christmas, and I love it. I grabbed some 18 count Ada and I just kind of hand dyed it myself. The pattern wants you to stitch all of this green background and then also green flowers all over. I didn't want to stitch the green background. Whatever I can help is fine. So what I did is I dyed it a green. I dyed the fabric green. So that way I would have a little bit of like a green design, and then I could just stitch the little flowers on it. So I thought that would be easier for me. And I'm pretty sure that's, yeah. So right now I have such a sad start because this was one of my like new starts in December that I tried to get done before the new year. So, but this has been calling to me lately, so I will be stitching on this soon. I'm just on the very corner bush, basically. And yeah, this one's gonna be fun because I love Pokemon. So, where'd my bag go? Oh, it's down here. Wait, oh. Well, I can't give you my phone to play with because I'm using it. What do you want to do? What is it? Here. Why don't you take this? Can you go bang? Bang, 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 bang. He's helping with the video. He feels left out. Hi. What are you doing? What is it? I can't film with you if you're like this. Yeah, okay. He needs me. I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there, and I'll try and continue this on his next nap or something. Okay, we're back. Yeah, he's coming. Next up we have my reading bookshelf that I'm doing from the Gothic. It's a Gothic Stitch Along. Let's see. Goth Stitch. There we go. That's the name of it. And then here is the pattern. So this was originally a temperature sal, which is why all of the books are like grayed out, because those are based off of your temperature sal chart. I love that idea, and I've wanted to do a temperature sal, but I'm not really interested in the weather. I don't want to look back and be like, oh yeah, that day was hot, because why would I? But what I am doing is I'm basing my temperature chart based off of my Audible listening. So I listen to audiobooks and I love doing that. So I'm keeping track of all of my listening to audiobooks. Let me take it out of the frame really fast so you can see better. I picked all my own colors. I didn't use the pattern charted colors. And I'm just basically, I have like, for 0, and then I have 1 to 30, 31 to 45, that's kind of like what I've done. And then I have like 3 hours and over, basically. So there's been a lot of changes to this pattern. So I finally reached the other side. You can see I'm not very good at centering my stuff. But here is the whole thing. And I'm caught up all the way up to the 25th or 24th, something like that, February 24th. So I changed the color of the bookshelf. It's supposed to be like a blackish, dark gray color. I changed it to be brown because that's like what my library would look like if I had a library. So I changed that. There was also like a kitty cat right here. I changed it to be a cute little dragon. And I found this little dragon on Reddit. I basically just copied someone else's charting that they did. They created their own little chart of this dragon, but they didn't release the actual chart of it, but they said this is like a free little dragon if you want to copy it. So I copied just what they had stitched. I'm going to load the picture of the kitty cat. So that's what the kitty cat is kind of supposed to look like draped over the bookshelf right there. And like I said, I just changed it to be a little dragon. But when I when I stitched the dragon, I should have started him over here a little bit more, because now he's in the way of the center being 2023 or 2024, I mean, is supposed to be like right here. So now I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put that at the bottom? Do I want to put like another pillar right here? What do I want to do? So I'm still trying to decide what to do. So for now, it's just being left blank. I am stitching this 2 strands on 18 count Bee Stitch Me dyed Ada, which I love their 18 count. So yeah, this is what I've done so far. I've also changed up here where it's supposed to be like a bunch of what look to be like candles. So I changed it to be an old-fashioned candle because that's just me. And then over here was supposed to be like a bowl of fruit and like a potion bottle. I chose to be like Harry Potter glasses, and then this is supposed to be the sorting hat. Although I created all of these like stitching. I charted all of these myself, so I'm not the greatest at creating things, but I think they turned out okay. This is a little bit cartoony. I think it might be a little bit too cartoony for this bookshelf, but I'm still deciding whether or not I'm going to keep them or put like another potions bottle. Over here is supposed to be a chest and another potion bottle. So I am going to keep the chest, but I'm going to change the color of the chest, and then I'm going to put a potion bottle, but it's going to be a Harry Potter potion. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Liquid Luck or if it's going to be a Vial of Tears or what have you. I also think up here, over here, there's supposed to be a plant. I'm going to keep the plant. And one of, I think right here is, right here is supposed to be a skull. I'm going to change the skull to be like the diadem, Ravenclaw's diadem. Jeez Louise. So I'm going to try and chart that or think up like a little tiara to put in here, basically. But anyway, this is, let me move all the hanging threads. This is what I got so far. I really love this pattern. It's really nice. It's fun to do, and I've kept up with it so far. So all my other styles I'm behind in. This one I've kept up, which is nice. Okay. Next up, we've done this one. Next up, what do we have? We have a zebra pattern. So my husband for Christmas, one of my favorite animals is a zebra. I have yet to be able to find a good zebra pattern, and he found one. So this one is Zebra 22. Zebra with a bunch of beautiful watercolored flowers. What, sweetie? So I haven't gone very far on this one. This is on 22 count Hardinger, which I have dyed, hand dyed. I don't think you can see that very well. Maybe you can. It's like a purplish pink. I thought that'd be like a good background for behind the zebra. But this is where I've gotten to so far. I just started in the kind of top middle and working on the mane all the way up to like the ear, and then I'll start working down. But yep, not too far so far. But I mean, I just did start this one the beginning of January, I believe. So I have no new stars until July. I might try and extend that to the end of the year. But of course, before the no new stars, I started like 15 things or something in rapid succession because I wanted to be able to stitch on my new like gifts, new patterns that I got from my husband. So yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose, but it was fun and I'm still doing it, and I'm still not starting anything else even though there's been other things that I've wanted to start. So next up, we have a restart. So I was currently stitching this Heavenandearthdesigns pattern. I wasn't really happy with it. And then some stitching friends and I wanted to do like a story keep, but I wanted to do the story keep based off of a hay that I already had. So let me find the original photo and then I'll show you how I cropped it. Maybe. Where is the picture of the pattern that I cropped? Okay, it doesn't look like I have the original pattern, or maybe in screenshots. Let's see. Sorry. Taking you on a wild goose chase. Nope. Okay. I guess not. So anyway, I changed this pattern I had already started it. I decided I wanted to restart it. So I took the whole pattern and I cropped it to be a story keep. The light will change in just a minute. So this is what I will be stitching of her. I think that's enough detail for like what I want to see. A little bit of the wings, a little bit of the, well, almost all of the dress, her face holding a flower. And this one is called Mini Morning Blue. So I had originally started this on 18 count Aida. That was actually 19 count Aida that I'd purchased online, kind of cheaply. I wasn't liking it, so I have since switched this to like a good quality 18 count Aida, a fabric I already had on hand, and it's full coverage, and it's, let's see, I'm doing 3-strand tent. 3-strand tent on 18 count. So here's where I've gotten to so far. Not a ton, but I am starting to see the watercolor feel. This was so confetti heavy. I'll show you the back in just a second and then you'll understand. Well, you'll see, I mean, you see all the hanging threads, but yeah, this is where I've gotten to so far. Not too bad. I just recently restarted this. Yeah, that's the back, because it's just so confetti heavy, but it needs to be confetti heavy to get that watercolor feel. And yeah, seeing it on camera, it looks so much better than in person, so that's cool, because I'm not seeing any detail when I look at it in person. But yeah, I just recently restarted this to be a story keep stitch along. Okay, next up, we have Stardew Valley Winter by, I believe this is GlitchstitchAU. Let me pull up the PDF. So that's what it will look like when it's all finished. It's like the mock-up. I have an autumn pattern, Stardew Valley pattern that you will see later on in either this part or part 3. This is the winter one that my husband got me because I want eventually all of the seasons. Stardew Valley is a game and you play throughout the seasons, and each season brings different things in the game. This is stitched on 22 count even weave by Bee Stitch Me, and I just recently stitched on this. So this was a very quick start. I only had like 100 stitches on it, and I just recently filled out more. So I got like another 300 or so stitches on this. So we're looking pretty good so far. But still, I mean, not very much stitching. But I just got this from my birthday or Christmas. And this one is stitched 2-strand tent stitch, since it's 22 count. Next up, let's see, we have Star Magic. So this is, let's see, pull back up my photos for you guys. Where is this? Star Magic, there we go. Star Magic by Flossy Fuck Shop. Let me zoom in a tiny so you can't see any of the pattern. Okay, there we go. This beauty. Again, yeah, I love her shop and my husband knows it, and so he got me this. And this is 14 count Aida. And this is, I think, printed. Yeah.
I'm just gonna get rid of this.
Okay, sweetie. This is a piece of printed fabric, 14 count Aida. So I didn't get very far on this just because this was one of my start a mad dash to get it started, so that way I can, you know, stitch it throughout the year. And I don't even know if the camera's gonna be able to show this, but this side is white, it's the back, and then this side is almost like a skyish, like marbling to it. But I thought that'd be kind of cool because it's Star Magic, so you're in the sky. Instead of being like a black, I wanted it to be a little bit more hardy than that. So that's all I've done. A very sad start indeed. And that's just the center right there, center outline. 14 count. This is a stitched full cross, 2-strand full cross. And I dropped the bag. Okay. Next up, we are almost done with this part. I think we're getting kind of high in there. All right, this is a little bat that my husband got for me during the Christmas. And this guy, let me find him. Nathnolu on Etsy. You'll see it in just a second. I don't know how to pronounce that. Bat's Winter Brew. He is super cute, but I noticed the actual pattern looks like he has a Gryffindor colored like scarf on him. So I am, well, recently discovered that I am a Hufflepuff house, but I really love the Ravenclaw house. And so I have changed his scarf to be Ravenclaw colors. And let me see if I can show you how that is charted. Let me view a mock-up of what I've done basically. So I just changed the colors to be that like silver and like bluish color. So I haven't gone very far on him because he was a very mad dash to get started, so I can work on him throughout the year. Silly, silly me. But this is that 19 count fabric that I was talking about that I hand dyed myself. It was a really big piece. So I was really sad that it ended up being 19 count, but I've got to use it for all these little patterns. So this is what I've gotten to so far. I got his little heart nose and his outline of his ear, but that's all. So yeah. Again, this is hand dyed myself, and because it is 19 count Ada, I am choosing to do 1 thread instead of 2 full cross because the 2 seems to be too thick and makes my stitching look very messy. Okay, I think we have enough time for one more. Gosh, this can't be more than 3-part video. Maybe I'll just pause and continue for the part 2 because I don't want each part to only be, I don't know. I wanted them to be around an hour, but I still have so many more drawers left. Maybe it's just gonna be 4 parts. I don't know. Sorry. All right, this one is Home is Where the Books Are. This is another flossy fox shop pattern. And this one is this one. And it's just so cute. I'll zoom in a little to get rid of the, there we go. So there's the pattern. Pixel and adorable. And I chose to do this on 14 count Fiddler's Ada. And I've gotten a fair bit done on it. The last time I showed it, I had done a little bit and then I felt like working on it. It was like calling to me, so then I worked on it a little bit more. So here's what I've gotten to. Just doing the outline, and then we'll go through and fill in the outline. I think this is the only pattern that I've really done that for. And this one I'm gonna do the whole outline because all of the outline is this color. I think it's 154. And I love it. Pixel patterns, I feel like I could do that for. Full coverage, I don't. I lose motivation to do it for, where you just pick a color, full cross country, like extreme cross country it, and then just pick another color. I can't do that for, but this I'm loving. I'm loving doing all the outline for it. And honestly, it would look so cool just like this too. I don't feel like all of the colors need to be filled in, but I'm sure I probably will eventually fill them all in. But yeah, this is it. All right, next up we have a birthday present from Emma, one of my stitching friends. I was Phoebe, Instagram name. She sent this over to me for my birthday. It is a Russian kit, coffee admirers. So I definitely do love my coffee. I feel like I have more coffee in my veins than I do blood. But this is the pattern. And I haven't gotten too far on this, but I plan on getting further, obviously, which is why it's in my drawer next to the couch. So I decided to start this one in the middle, and I'm just working on this little cup right here. So I'm right here on the little handle. And this one did come as a kit. So this is fabric that came with the kit. It's 18 count Aida. It's very nice feeling. But yeah, I just got this started, and as soon as I finish this one, I'll get the T one too. And there's another one also that she has. I can't remember the name. I can't remember exactly what it looks like, but it's kind of like this. It's not coffee or tea. I think it's like treats or something that I want. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go looking for it, but that's what this one is. Let's see. Okay, next up. Ugh. Next up we have, what is the name of this one? I'm drawing a blank. It's kind of an older one. Home in this house. There we go. In this house by Print and Decor. It's like a Harry Potter in this house, which is super cute. And this is on 14 count Aida that I hand dyed myself. I am stitching this 10 stitch. I started it as full crossing and then converted it to 10 stitch. So yeah, I've gotten a fair bit done on it. This thing is going to be absolutely huge because it's 14 count. But this is where I've gotten to so far. And this one, you can hear the kids in the background. Sorry. This one I'm changing pretty much any significant word of the pattern to be whatever color I feel like I think about when I read it. So we have Dumbledore's army, but I still haven't finished outlining Dumbledore's army. But Dumbledore, one of his colors was light blue. And then Gryffindor, we have the Gryffindor colors, the Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff and Slytherin will be their house colors. And then this one didn't really have a significant like word, so it'll be all black. But the next row does have a significant word, so I will pick that color when I get to it, and I'll pick whatever basically comes to mind when I think about it. But yeah, this is it so far. And I really love this one. It stitches up really quickly. It's just I need more time on it. So, yeah. And it's gonna be huge. So this one's gonna be framed in like a poster type frame. I can picture it already. Next up we have Dragons and Apples. This one was a New Year, New Start pattern. As soon as I can find it for you. Maybe. There we go. Super cute. This was only supposed to be 3 colors, but of course, I don't. It's not my type of pattern if it's not complicated, apparently. So I have changed this to be my own colors. I'm using Sulky floss. Yes, honey, I'm filming.
When are you going to be done with
I'm almost done. Just a few more minutes, okay?
Okay.
I love you. So I changed the outline to be this 645 color. Most of the dragons I feel like will be 319. And then all of the individual details in each of the boxes will be its own individual color. So I have, honey. So I have like this silky one for like the wings and like caves and stuff. Let's see. I have all these different colors that I'm basically just going to use throughout the pattern based off of how I'm feeling. And I can't hold them all up, so I'm just gonna have to do it. Honey, a little quieter, please. So these colors, and then we have these colors. All variegated, all beautiful. I absolutely love silky floss. I've fallen in love with it. And I'm using, these ones are only 1 strand, whereas when I'm using the DMC or CXC, it is 2 strands. But this is where I've gotten to so far. And then we got the little like Projectstitchcraft needle minder on there. But yeah, there we go. This box is almost completely done. I just need to finish doing this like inside frame right here, go back over it because I'm just tent stitching it to make it easier so I don't have to use my phone. So then I can mind numbing without paying any sort of attention, basically just go back over it, and then I'll be done with that corner, and then I think I'll go down from there. Because I started in the top right corner instead of the top left corner like I normally do, because I wanted to get to a different detail. Okay, we only have a couple more. Let's see if we can make it through before the boys go crazy. Okay, next up we have a magic house. Let me see. Magic book. All right, this one. So this pattern is going to be absolutely huge. This pattern, I believe Emma is stitching this as well. And I decided to stitch this on 18 count Aida that I dyed myself to be like a sky pinkish color. Again, the camera does not do this fabric justice. This is significantly more vibrant than this, but that's okay. But I've only done that. So I am stitching this 3 strand 10 stitch. It seems to be doing okay for coverage so far. But yeah, this is how big this pattern is going to be. It's going to be huge. But I so look forward to stitching on it more. It's just one of the new start ones that I haven't stitched on very much, just because I just started it. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess I have 5 more still. Let's see if we can do 5. Bubskis, I got 5 more and then I'm done, okay? Okay. Awesome. Okay, next up we have, I want to say the Secret Garden. What is this called? Night Garden. So that's what this looks like, which is super cool, but I didn't want to do it on black. I'm not a big fan of black. So I picked out a piece of 18 count Aida and I dyed this myself. Just kind of like a darkish color, something that I thought would be kind of not black. It does have some black in it, but something that I thought would be more like midnighty. And this is what I've gotten done so far. And I am using 1 strand on this because I feel like I want it to be a little bit more dainty feeling as compared to like, bam, you can see it. So, so yeah, that's what I've gotten done so far. Not a ton, but I was missing a lot of colors for this one. And then of course now I have my fabric organized, or my floss organized in those binders, so it's easier to see. So this one should pick up stitching on it now. Next up we have the Black Pearl. I love this pattern. This one is Black Pearl by the Witchy Stitcher. Love it. Love, love, love it. And this one is stitched on 18 count Ada by Boneyard by Beast Stitch Me. So this is where I've gotten to so far. I am stitching this full cross, 2-strand full cross. But again, what I like to do is I like to stitch all 10 stitch first and then go back over it mindlessly. That way I can just kind of see that everything lines up and I can easily see where I'm stitching, but I don't necessarily have to use my phone. Okay. Next up, we have a pattern that I made for Emma and myself. This is a pattern that I made with, using Pick-to-Pat. And this is a Harry Potter book cover. And I just have to find the picture of it. There we go. This is the newest UK version of the Harry Potter book covers. And this is the Philosopher's Stone that we're starting on. And I haven't gone very far on this. I've got about 300 stitches. But this is stitched on 28 count even weave, 2/110 stitch. Here's what the whole thing is going to be. Keep in mind this is 28 count, so this is a lot of stitches. But that's where I've gotten to so far. And it's looking really good as far as like very smooth stitching and everything. But yeah, we just started that new year. This new year. But this one will go a little bit easier now that I do have all of the colors like available to me easily in that binder. I was having a really hard time finding colors and then getting frustrated and then now wanting to work on anything that I couldn't find the colors for. So, okay. Next up, we have Little Mermaid. So, I'll take this out of the hoop. We, let's leave him alone, okay? He's okay. We purchased this pattern and then broke it up into different parts. So this is Soda Stitch. So here's the pattern with all of my little numbers on it that we broke up the little parts into. And then each month we stitch a different part. Please get off. Each month we stitch a different part. And so this is printed 14 count Ada. So this side is white and this side is like a colored, like greenish, yellowish blue color. So we're almost done. I'm supposed to already have like the mermaid down here, one of the mermaids down here done in a couple of days. Because the new parts comes out the 1st of the month. And then we have a needle minder that the thread maiden Nikki made for me of Ariel on here, which is just so fitting because this is the Little Mermaid, so it's perfect. So yep, this is where we've gotten to so far. And so when I first saw this pattern, I was like, it's cute, but it's a little bit too cutesy for me, but I'll stitch it, it'll be fun. And then I started stitching it, and every time I stitch this, I'm like, oh, I love this pattern. So yeah, it is too cutesy for me, but apparently I need it. I need the cutesy. So, but yeah, this one I need to get the mermaid stitched before the next part comes out in just a couple of days. Okay, I think this is the last one, okay? This last one is a new year, new start. So my husband and I started an Audible an audio book club, but a couple stitching friends and I started like a regular book club, a virtual one, where we're stitching or listening. Geez, I have stitching and listening on the brain apparently. We are reading a book. We're all reading the same book and we wait for everyone to get caught up and then we'll read some more, blah, blah, blah. We started a bookmark the same time. So this is a piece of 14 count Ada that I had on stash that I just hand dyed myself to kind of, I don't know, playing around. And then I'm using some variegated floss that I had on stash. So I'm using 2 strands, full cross on this one, and the bookmark itself is, or will, where's UPF? Will look like this. There we go. So there's like 4 in the pattern and I'm picking this one to do right now. So yeah, I haven't gone very far. I feel like I should have been farther by now, but that's just how it is with everybody or all of my patterns. So this is, here it is. And this is the floss that I am using. I got this as like a set on Amazon. It's like greens, blues, and yellows. Super cute. Okay, I think that is it for this Stitch With Me part 2, or Wip Parade part 2. I am gonna have to do a part 3. I only made it through like half of that container and 1 drawer, and I still have 1, 2, 3 drawers over here and a 5-drawer filing cabinet. So we have a lot. Apparently, I think this is just gonna have to be a part 4. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But that is it for this Wip Parade part 2 video. Thank you all so much for joining me and sticking with me through this very long-winded Wip Parade. If you guys have any questions on anything that I've showed or haven't showed, let me know in the comments, send me an email or send me an Instagram message. I'm happy to talk to every single one of you. Yeah, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm, and take care. Bye.